Record crowds at practice have once again seen Jim Clark and the Lotus snatch pole position with 1 minute 38.1. Graham Hill, BRM, with one victory at Monaco, he's a bare fifth of a second slower than Clark. So far, victory this season has eluded John Surtees, but his ability has now put him well into the running to add a four-wheel championship to his 5 two-wheel crown. Bruce McLaren, probably the most relaxed of them all, just loves his racing. Back on the 6th row of the grid, Richie Ginther with the second BRM. Phil Hill with Ginther back on the 6th. A rare sight at motor racing. And a familiar one. Jim Clark in pole position with the Lotus. At the back of the grid, Frank Gardner rams Chris Amon and is out of the race. It's Jim Clark leading from Gurney, Graham Hill, Surtees, Brabham and McLaren 6th. The critical uphill left-hander at South Bank Bend with the camber all the wrong way. Into clearways, tricky at 90 miles an hour and accelerating in the drift. A sensational standing lap with 79 to go and the pressure's on. Jim Clark gets down to it in the position he likes most to hold, but he's being harried. After 2 laps, the pattern breaks. Gurney comes into the pits from 2nd place. The Coventry Climax V8 is misfiring, the transistor box smoking. Now Graham Hill tries desperately to close up on Jim Clark. Surtees 3rd, Brabham 4th. The gap between Clark and Hill is never more than 2 seconds, and their fierce duel pulls them clear of John Surtees. Back in the field, there are private battles. Joe Bonnier is going well, while Phil Hill and Bob Anderson embark on a race-long struggle. Bandini is now 4th. Jack Brabham, slowed by a fuel leak, makes 2 pit stops. Dan Gurney now going well again, but hopelessly far back. Still, Jim Clark remains in command. First he, then Graham Hill pile on the pressure, each finding that about 8 consecutive laps on the limit is all they can manage without a breather. For them, say half a second a lap. But always the Lotus leads. Peter Revson, the young American private entrant, is in rear hub trouble with the BRM-powered Lotus. By now, the leaders have lapped all but 7 cars, and occasionally Clark has someone other than Graham Hill in his mirrors. John Surtees, though he never gives up, must realize that only luck now can get him more than 4 points this time, as Graham Hill once again begins closing the gap. The last lap, and the leader approaching clearways. And Jim Clark wins the RAC Grand Prix and the Grand Prix of Europe 1964. 2.8 seconds is the official distance between him and Graham Hill at the end of their epic 210-mile duel. 3rd, Surtees, Ferrari. 4th, Jack Brabham, Brabham. 5th, Bandini, and 6th, Phil Hill, Cooper. To the victor, then, the rewards. And to the unique combination of Jim Clark, Colin Chapman and the Lotus team, the unqualified admiration of the world of motor racing.